When you do join a media team, it's very much like working in a newsroom. No day is the same. You have to respond to things hour by hour because things are always changing. COVID-19 was the perfect example. No one really knew what to do with it. So I was lucky enough to be a part of a task force with Transport for New South Wales that was pulled together. And myself and 3 other people led a media response for almost 12 months. And we had to be really dynamic in our response, not only adhering to what we need to do for traditional media like newspapers, television and radio, we also need to think about our social audience because we know people are looking there. So why not get the information there so they can also use it? I thought I'd give my honours degree a go. I did a thesis. I still learnt I really love to write, but I didn't want to be a journalist. Someone actually brought the Transport for New South Wales graduate program to my attention. So I applied. I was lucky enough to get a spot there and be put in a couple of media teams. And now I've found what I want to do and I'm really enjoying it. On the ferry here, the sky is the limit. And Western Sydney University is really going to set you up well for all of the options out there, particularly the journalism degree. You never know what possibilities could come from it. There are many other vocations out there. You could be doing media for a major corporation. You could be doing media for a major government department. You could be doing PR for a major fashion label. You just don't know what could happen.
I think the most memorable experience for me was my first trip to Syria. I had spent 5 years reporting on Australian men and women who had gone to join groups like Islamic State. It wasn't until I got there and we arrived at a processing area in the desert and started to talk to these women. It changed me as a person.
Over 3 days, 10,000 women and children come out of the dust from Baghouz, the final holdout of ISIS.
I was able to tell the story of Maria Exposto, who was a romance scam victim targeted by an international drug syndicate and was on death row. We spent months analysing court documents and infiltrating secret WhatsApp groups to understand how those international drug syndicates operated. After our story went to air, she was released and sent back to Australia, so that was quite incredible to be involved in that. I think there will always be a value in journalists. What we do is incredibly important to democracy. We are seeing the media world change through the digital age, through the existence of social media platforms. I think that the media will continue to adapt and find new ways to tell our stories. But at the core of what we do as journalists, that won't change. You know, it's still important to hold the powerful to account. Investigative journalism, is more important than ever, particularly, with the distrust of the public against the media. What we do isn't easy, but it's important. It's important to democracy.